Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to BlackOut Gaming TV. We have a crucial game for you today. It is a Week 7 game. This is the last week of Season 11 of ETF2L Premiership Highlander, and it's between two teams who have dreams of the playoffs, and the result here will decide which one of them could potentially seal their place for the knockout stages. In one corner, we have Budget Toucans, who've had a very interesting debut season and find themselves currently in fourth place. Whereas on the other hand, we have PremTech, who are obviously seasoned veterans of Premiership, and they are hoping to repeat their previous performances and reach the playoffs once again. I'm CeeJaey, and with me tonight is Jakeowaty with John on the camera. Jake, are you as excited about this game as I am?
If only I was. I'm excited about the game. Just overall, I'm quite beat up. I've had a really rough week at work, and but I put my snuggy pants on, I put my hoodie on, and I'm just glad I don't have to cast on stage right now because that would be a mess.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's all about the voice when it's online games, but it doesn't matter. You could be sat there and in your underwear, no one would know. No one would know. You could be naked right now, Jake, and you could be casting naked, and no one would know. So
well. You know that little talk that we had before the cast that we had tried to keep it rather professional. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we've gone off the rails a little bit. At least we haven't gone down to what you were doing earlier on, which. But we're going to focus on the Highlander. And yeah, like we said, both these teams. I mean, they've had a bit of different kind of very opposite seasons, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
We look at Budget Toucans. They started out so strongly. They beat the Bureau, which led to the Bureau folding. And Budget Toucans, they've won games against the likes of Super Dickmans, and they started off really strongly, and people were like, yeah, they looked like the team to be setting the pace with regards to getting into the playoffs, but they've had kind of heavy losses against Strong Opinions and Chess Club, so towards now it's kind of they're almost kind of dribbling over the line a little bit. They just need that little one more step, and I think for them it would be absolutely heartbreaking if they were to not get into the playoffs, having been in the top 4 for the entire season up till now. Whereas PremTech are at the opposite. They're the other side of the coin, because at the start of the season they lost to Super Dickmans, they lost to Strong Opinions, they lost to Chess Club, they had a bye week in week 4, so heading into week 5 they only had 2 points and they were at the bottom of the table. But they've picked up some points in the last couple of games, and now all they need to do, if they win 6-0 here, then they're guaranteed. They're guaranteed to go into the playoffs. So I think that would be a pretty good achievement. And if I'm honest, when you look at the teams, there's a lot of kind of new emerging talent coming from Toucans, whereas PremTech, there's a lot of seasoned players there. There's a lot of experience there. So it's going to be very difficult. I mean, who do you think would have the edge, just glancing at the two teams?
To be honest, it's kind of hard to say, really, because sometimes the experience, the veterans do have the upper hand above the other team, that is not as experienced at the same time. We've seen pretty much everything for TF2, underdogs beating the definite favorites, some up seasons. We've definitely seen that before. And while Budget Toucans are maybe not as seasoned. I mean, they do have quite a lot of good and fairly seasoned players. I know personally, Justice have played a lot of seasons, Legal as well on Scout. That team definitely has something to show, and especially the stakes for this match are quite high, actually, because if either of the team wins, they're going to secure themselves the 3rd place for the playoff table, which is very important, because being a 3rd seed, that means you're going to fight the 2nd seed, which in this case will be the match that we casted on Monday, actually, which is Super Dickman's Kanunen. So definitely, they'll be looking into that. But the losing team, as far as I know, will not actually get a 3rd place, and they're going to fall to 5th place, which means they're not going to get into playoffs anymore, and they'll have to say goodbye to the chance at the cup. So definitely a lot of pressure on this match, a lot on the line, and I couldn't have asked better than a PL Badwater, one of my favorite maps, honestly.
It's what I think over the past maybe the past 12 to 18 months, I would say, people always talked about Badwater being the staple Highlander map. It's the map that everyone knows how to play. It's the map that happens all the time. It's just always there. It's just the default, kind of like Badlands is in 6s. But I think as time's gone on, like I said, over the last year or so, I think Upwards maybe taken that. Upward seems to be the most popular payload map these days. It seems to be the most standard. We've seen a couple of seasons of UGC where they haven't had bad water and they've replaced it and they've kept up with. But I don't know. I mean, but it is that map that, you look throughout all of the Highlander seasons, it's been there. It's just everyone knows how to play it. And even though that happens, people will still develop new strategies. People have still found different ways to hold points. But we're going to take a look at the rosters now, just quickly, as we are waiting for one more person for PremTech. We'll start off with Budget Toucans. And the interesting thing about Budget Toucans is that they've used the same roster for every single game this season, except for one. I think one game they had a Merc on Scout, I believe. That's the only game they haven't had their entire roster. So
that's impressive.
That's very impressive. It's very impressive. And that's even considering they're the only team to have played every single week, because obviously they played against the Bureau. And they were the only team to play against them because they folded straight afterwards. And they've all joined Spec. So do we have a heavy fist fight or something?
Probably.
I think we do. I don't know if John's got the camera ready. John, if you wanna take a look at the heavy fist fight action, because obviously that's where all of the entertainment is. We don't care about the game. We just care about which heavy can punch the other in the face.
All right. So you wanna just go into like maybe I don't know, like one heavy is definitely gonna make his way up. It's gonna take him some time though. He's walking quite slowly, which is a problem because it's gonna take a short while. But yeah, well, basically it's gonna be a fistfight match in the middle of the map, kind of like a boxing ring. Whoever wins is going to choose whether they want to start on attack or on defense. More of a vanity point.
We got Mito versus Shaggy here. It's the battle of the demos. So Poco Fists versus Shaggy's getting beat up here. He's getting beat up bad. Wow.
Mito had 2 hits left in his health overall, and he took it quite comfortably. So it seems like they're going to decide to attack first, set the time, and then defend. Usually depends, what kind of strategy you want to do. Because if offense is really, really, really good, and you cap in like maybe 5-6 minutes, then definitely it's going to put a lot of pressure on the other team to beat that time. It's a very scary time to beat, and that gives you a lot of comfort in defending. And definitely it's going to play a major morale factor, because if, to be honest, Budget Toucans, like you said, they've played together almost every single game with mostly unchanged roster. And that's very impressive, especially in Highlander, because it's 9v9. It's 9 players try to get, 9 players together. We all know the ones that play Highlander, how hard it sometimes is. However, doing that in Premiership is definitely commendable, and we'll see how they deal with the stress. Definitely a lot on the line, and I do believe either of the teams is pretty much equally balanced. We had a very good Monday match between was Chess Club versus SDK. Now we have Budget Toucans versus Gravel Pit Graveyard, fully known as PremTech.
Yeah, they change their name like every 2 days. I still call them PremTech. But it's just, I can't keep up with the flag changes, the name changes. But to be fair to them, they haven't changed their roster that much either. In last season, very much their comeback last season was not maybe as large as maybe they or other people had hoped. In the past, the origins of PremTech had players like Shadowburn, they had players like Saney, they had Kresnik and Nursey, the American players playing for them in the combo. And it was just this that was the team that played together for, a couple of seasons. And, they went up to the grand final back in season 7. And, they finished 3rd in season 8. And they've come back, and it's been, everyone's changed except for Mito. And last season it was very much, how many mercs can they get, just using mercs here, left, right, and center. This season, though, they've got a roster, and to be fair, they've played most of their games with this roster. So we'll just take a look at it now. On Scout, we've got Legal. On Soldier will be Justice. Pyro is Ferry. Demo is Mito. Heavy is Kautu. Engineer is Detoad or Detoed. Can't remember how it's pronounced. I always say
Detoad, yeah.
Okay, and then on Medic we've got Connor. On Sniper we have Mist, and Spy we have Grengebob. And looking at that roster already, the entire combo, Connor, Mito, and Kautu, they played together last season. You know, that combo has stayed maintained from season 10 up until this season as well. And then you look at the additions they've made since last season. They've got players with experience like Granger Mist, formerly known as Yaug, who've been around the block for a long time. Justice, who I think is one of the most solid soldiers in Prem at the moment. He's guaranteed to just do you a lot of work. So these are all players with a lot of experience. On the other hand, you've got Budget Toucans. We've got Scout is Silver Tosspot. Soldier is Chef. V-Clocks is on Pyro. Demo is Shaggy. Heavy is Mackie, Engineer is Mezzo, Medic is Mars, Jelly is the Sniper, and Tomato is Spy. And like we said, Jake, they've had the same roster through pretty much every game this season. And I just think their teamwork is their strongest point. They have some strong players. You know, Shaggy always stands out as a player who does a lot of damage, gets a lot of kills. But in general, I just think their coordination as a team, you know, their flank seems to do well. Chef has had some good games, and I think it's just their coordination. So I don't know, it's all about kind of new blood versus experience here, and I can't tell the difference.
Well, on the other side, you definitely have veterans of TF2. I mean, I started playing TF2 back in 2012 with Granger on the same team, and that was a while ago. Kaltu was around ever since, even before there. Justice kind of came later on, but I would say 60-70% of that team played around 2012, 2013, and that's a very long time for a video game. So that's a lot of experience, a lot of
years here.
Yes, but at the same time, you have to, say that not all of the players, although most players, are actually on their favorite class, the ones that they played for a long time. Legal, Justice, Maito, Kaltu, and Dredgebab, all on their respective class. But the gates are down, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to go. First, a wave of suicides is gonna come down fairly shortly, I do believe. They're getting into positions with the Soldier and a Demo Man here on to attack. Maito is trying to get some spam onto the combo there on the red team. Red team actually not too... Oh, there goes the... Oh, no! Shaggy anticipated that jump and absolutely blew Justice out of the way, as well as the rest of the respawn just coming in a bit too late. Legal and Justice falling down there as well. That means the first wave of respawns is unsuccessful for PremTech.
Yeah, obviously PremTech in the blue, they're going to be sitting the time first off there. Missed getting headshot there by Tomato, so no sniper to worry about for the defending team just for now. And those suicides did absolutely nothing. There was just, you look at the sticky trap that Shaggy's putting up. He's doing it up on the cliff high, and that's
very
normally
smart.
Where a soldier is. Yeah, normally where a soldier's going to jump around and try and wrap around that cliff and land right on the medic. And with those stickies there, Justice got absolutely denied. So he's probably going to learn from that and not do it again. Sentry's fairly far forward, not watching the tunnel exit just yet, but he doesn't need to, because obviously the worry at the moment. Uber's come in, actually. It's come in from the slope. The Sentry is just getting focused, is going to get taken down. This Uber from the defending team is going to be used, but Miss gets the body shot onto Mezzo. No Engineer, and Toucans want to get out. Maito with the jump. Oh, they're just collapsing on them. D-Toad gets the medic pick onto Mars.
Wow.
Mackie is going to get caught in here as well. Gets taken down again by the Engineer D-Toad. And that's three crucial picks here. Heavy, Engineer, and Medic aren't going to be up. And that means it's going to be a huge advantage for Connor pushing on to, and I think Toucans are going to have to back out to third here, Jake.
Yeah, it was a really well-coordinated push by PremTech right there. Jumping at the same time, getting the right picks, getting a very nice super push, taking the Sentry down, and the Engineer right after. Very well done, and that will cost Budget Toucans a second point. They didn't quite manage even to set up for feeding this point and moving on third already, with Maito already at the gate, trying to get some forward picks, but decided not to do that on half health. It's a bit difficult to actually jump in as a Demo Man, believe you me, but Kona is nearing 80% Uber, Mars only on 50. That will give him a very short window of time where they can just push in without having to worry too much about the enemy fire. As they're getting ready to push from the turbines. They did call 100%. Mars only on 75%. They don't have much they want to push now, but looks like they have decided to go through main, losing that window of advantage, and they just decided to push with the car. That's also quite important. The Sentry is already level 2. Very shortly it's going to be level 3 as the Engineer builds it up there, Mezzo, making sure that it has protection.
They've wasted this. Oh no, headshot there from Mist actually.
Exactly.
Onto Mezzo. Yeah, that's going to open things up a little bit. That Sentry can be spammed now. You can see the rockets coming in from Justice. 2 rockets, nice, quick and clean to take down that Sentry gun. But as you can see, Mars has got 100% Uber now, so they kind of lost that opportunity there. They had a nice 30-35% Uber advantage. Big jump in from Justice though. He's going to land 1 rocket onto Mars. In comes Legal as well, and it does actually force Mars there. The Soldier and the Scout coming in from the flank. Great play there, just to force Mars. And Mars is going to get aggressive here, but Grench comes in on him. No, he doesn't get the kill, actually. That was just, it was almost body blocking him. Mars is down to about 70 HP still. But Maito is going to respawn in a couple of seconds. Huge Uber advantage from now. And this is all the third point is about, Jake. I think when it's Uber versus Uber or anything like that, you know, if the defending team has Uber, then it's fairly easier to hold. But
yeah.
I think the thing that defines a team is can they hold it non-Uber versus Uber? And we're going to see if Toucans are going to be able to do that now.
Ooh, it's going to be scary as they're getting ready to push through the turbine area. They do have 100%, Mars only on 60%, and they're going to go in and just pop right away just to make sure no one dies from the sticky traps. Going in with Maito leading the charge, trying to get some picks there. Very low on health there. Soldier for the defending team. Chef is actually defending this whole area by himself. It looks like this Uber push has not been quite successful, not as much as they wanted to be, PremTech, as a lot of players actually falling down for PremTech as they're trying to push, but the cart is still being pushed by PremTech, by the engineer and the demo man. There goes the counter pop. Finally, Mars managed to get his Uber up, very low on health as well, trying to get people away from the point. They did kill Kana though, which means they're gonna have a small advantage over them, as this push by PremTech was thwarted. I like that word, thwarted by Budget Toucans. Very well, actually. That was very well played by Budget Toucans. Making sure that they don't die. Yeah, they don't die. They don't let their medic actually die there with the push. And Soldier Chef definitely doing a lot of work in that upper area of the balcony.
Yeah, I mean, Grenjab there just got a nice pick onto Jelly, so that's going to get a little bit of more room for Mist to maybe try to get a snipe or something like that. But I don't really understand what Toucans did. You know, they saw Mars and V-Clocks just ran all the way back practically to last. And Maki and Shaggy just kind of stayed in the house. And they just scattered in every direction. And PremTech found it very, very difficult. They took the space, they got all of their players in. It was really good, but they just couldn't focus any frags. And that meant that, you know, it gave time for Toucans to get their medic back into position, heal up, and actually get that Uber to end up come up. But Connor is building that Uber now, and he's still on the regular medic gun. We have seen some crit shenanigans coming out of Connor in the past, but Mist goes down there just after taking down Jelly. So no sniper for team now, and again, this is the moment. I mean, there's a third on Badwater has been cited as that point that makes it extremely difficult to push. Because if you come up against a good team, they can hold it well, and like we just saw, even without Uber, you can actually get into position and defend it well. Big jump in from Maito there. He's going to try and get some sticks on the medic. He lands one, he lands two. In comes Justin.
No way!
And he drops the medic. Mars is down, and Shaggy also gets taken down for good measure to the mini from D-Toad. So that is demo and medic down, and Toucans are going to be hard pressed to block this now, Jake.
Oh, yeah, that sounds really rough for them as, well, the medic died with 100% Uber always sucks as Kana actually has his 100% save. There's a scout in a very good position right next to Mist. Actually, Mist is going to be surprised by Silver Toss, but he's ready for the combo to push, but they're going from the right side. Not there, buddy. As they're trying to get into positions before they push, and there goes the pop. Trying to get the sentry focused down. Actually, a combo right now, putting some sticks on there, as well as on the sentry, but sentry is still alive, and so is combo. Might a little bit distracted there, falls down to the pyro. Actually, Ferry getting a 3k there as Metso actually taking down most of the people who were trying to push the card, and one more push, even with the Uber, was not enough for PremTech to push the third point, as Budget Toucans are absolutely destroying them every single attack.
At the moment, the issue PremTech have is that they're not going to get any focus on the sentry. They're getting in, they're getting their players in, they're getting time on cart, they're pressuring the combo out. They took down Maki, they took down Shaggy, and they got a lot of damage on Mars. Mars was just nowhere to be seen. He was about 10 HP, he could not stay in the fight. But even despite all of that, the sentry is just there, constantly shooting. And if you don't get someone to focus the engineer, at least force the engineer to wrangle, do something, that sentry is just going to shoot the cart. It has such long range along this sight line, and that's the issue PremTech are having at the moment. They don't have an answer to taking down that sentry, as Maito gets headshot there by Jelly, racking up a 4-kill streak. And this is the point where things start to get a bit frustrating for teams. And we might see PremTech getting a little bit worried here, but Justice comes in, he lands one rocket, but he's not going to be able to do any more. But a double backstab from Grenjab takes down Maki and Shaggy. So no demo, no heavy, and that could give some space for Toucans to maybe push this in Uber v Uber, actually. And it looks like they're starting to walk in now. They use really, really early. They've only got Silver Toss Spot to counter it on here, Toucans, and they're trying their best, trying to get some frags. Actually, Maito goes down to Silver, and that sentry gun is just wrangled down in that choke area, Jake, and it's just so hard. You can't get through that doorway.
Metso is just doing such a good job at keeping the sentry up. It's actually not been really focused by PremTech too much. Maito actually dying in that push before he managed to get a flash or even do anything in that engagement there was definitely the downfall of that push. And once again, both medics at equal Ubers definitely is going to slow PremTech quite a lot. You know, it's another push that they didn't quite manage to get finished, as Budget Toucans are, you know, kind of bunkering down even more than they already did, as they're moving into good positions here. Actually giving a little bit more breathing room for PremTech. They need to actually build up the Uber. They have a very small advantage, but he is, Mars, working on to getting 100%. Kana is going to hit 100%, and it's going to be another engagement. I do believe it's going to be very soon, as they're slowly but steadily moving people up. Trying to get them into that room with a huge health pack and the ammo pack, and they're gonna pop any second now. They're leading with the pyro, which is very smart, but at the same time, it's completely sticky here by Shaggy, with Mackie actually protecting him as well. So far, PremTech losing a lot of time here on the third point, and it's actually not looking very good for them right now.
I mean, you can see Justice is trying to spam the sentry, and he would have taken it down if he'd been running the direct hit. So I don't know whether that's a decent strategy for them, if they just want to switch him off to direct hit, focus down that sentry, just, you know, in through the choke area, because they're getting good snipes on Jelly. Jelly is going down to mist a couple of times here, so if they can get that pick onto the sniper, they can get the direct hit onto the sentry, and then do the push that they've been doing the past 2 or 3 times, then they would easily cap this point. But it just seems they can't get all of the pieces of that jigsaw together. Maito comes in, he's trying to get some stickies down, doesn't actually get the force. The reflect comes in from V-Clocks to take down over the backstab from Grenchimov. He gets the double. He takes down Mackie and Mars. And that is another med drop coming out from Mars. Connor has 100%. He's got no players with him though. And he is long gone. Jake is all the way at the teleport exit. Yeah, he's waiting for those respawns, and his team should be able to push this now.
Yeah, well, it was a very well played there by PremTech. They actually tried to bait that Uber out and actually managed to get a drop onto Mars, which is very, very important for them, as they do have a massive advantage. But, you know, they've tried that already 2 times. They did have the advantage, and each time Budget Toucans had the answer to that push. You know, whether pushing from the boiler room, whether pushing from the little shack, it doesn't matter. Budget Toucans every single time managed to slow them down, slow PremTech down, and just do a lot. Oh, very scary actually. There, Kana taking a pipe to the face, but he's still fine, you know, still half health, that's okay. Grenchimov actually falling down, but there's a very early pop there, trying to make sure that no one dies, leading with Maito, putting a lot of pipes there onto the enemy team, but it's definitely not enough, as he's not focusing the sentry. Heavy goes down, counter to a wrangled sentry from Metso, and that sentry, just as it was before, very annoying. It's still proving to be difficult for PremTech to take down.
Justice is doing the right thing though. He's taken this top area, and he's got the engineer rather weak. And the engineer can't help his sentry now. He's only got rescue ranger. That sentry does go down eventually there. There's 3 players left alive now for Toucans, and eventually Justice did what he needed to do. Took that upper area and just focused the sentry, focused the engineer, and it just means that that engineer can't keep wrangling, can't be an annoyance. So no engineer, no sniper up actually for another 5 seconds. So it should be quite easy if PremTech fancy going for a force here, but 11 minutes 20, Toucans are going to be very happy with that time, and at this point, the last point is just going to be them trying to eke out as much time as they can.
Yeah, well, definitely. Budget Toucans is on a very, very comfortable spot right now, with 100% Uber actually holding on to Laz very close to the corner, which is the strategy here, especially if you have the advantage. However, Kana is going to get his 100% soon, and they will have to look out for some, well, sticky traps there, as Maito is just trying to do as his name says, bait some people into thinking that they are not ready for attack, and they are. But that's on the offense. They're actually not putting any bodies onto the cart right now. They're just getting a jump. Justice raised from above. 1 rocket, 2 rockets. It's not enough to force Mars out, as he's running away at 30 HP. Complete trust in his teammates, as he did drop twice, but that's okay. Grenchimov actually working on Mackie, taking the heavy down. That situation very important, but at the same time, PremTech losing a lot of players before there to the flankers, and well, that slows them down even more, and the time is not looking too good for them.
No, I mean, they've got plenty of time now. They've got, what, 420 to go. And actually force the Uber onto Mars. And Mars takes down Kaltu. But, oh, look at Connor! Oh my word, he was 5 HP! That sticky launched him into the dispenser. He was 5 HP, Jake. He's got balls of steel. A lesser medic would have used there. That is absolutely... He knew there was no more damage coming in. But another medic would have looked there and thought, I need to use it. But I don't know. It was brave,
Well,
it was brave, but it's going to work out great for them. They have a 50% advantage still, no engineer to worry about, no sentry, so they can just Uber in now, and they should be able to clean up.
yeah, but they're getting absolutely destroyed there by Jelly, actually getting on a 4K kill streak and protecting this whole long sideline from the enemy fire and slowing down PremTech even more so as Mars is about to get his another Uber while Kana has not popped his in the last 2 to 3 minutes. And it's definitely not looking too bright for PremTech as they were looking to set up a good time and now they're kind of struggling right now. There's a spy actually being caught out almost there. Fairy making sure that Tomato goes down with the flare gun. Nicely done as they're pushing from the window area. They're getting ready to Uber up, but the problem is there's a lot of stakes. Maito didn't see and he gets dropped. The Uber has been popped on the Heavy, but Heavy does not have the range needed to take down the sentry. And the whole Uber charge from PremTech is going to be completely wasted as Mars also did pop his to protect the card and his teammates, and that's absolutely fine as both medics once again on about equal Ubers.
Like, PremTech did really good. They got a good force there just by bullying their way through the choke and getting the force onto Mars. But they allowed Mars to go from 0 to 100% before using their Uber. They had a really good chance there to actually push, but missed there, getting a snipe body shot onto Jelly. So no sniper for the defending team. Shaggy's trying to get aggressive to compensate for that. Excuse me, he's just getting a focus down there. And this is looking interesting now, actually, as PremTech starting to walk through. And it looks like, actually no, the Uber does get forced here. Justice forces it in through the spiral, but they're just cleaning up everyone else. Connor's at 95%. He's only got legal for company. Can he get out? He does actually manage to escape. That was clutch there. That extra little speed boost by healing the scout has managed to retain his life. And Shaggy is down for another 10 seconds. And, you know, no demo man on the defending side on a payload map. You should be able to just walk in, no sticky traps to worry about. And PremTech, they've got less than 2 minutes to be able to capture this last point now. The pressure is absolutely on, Jake.
Yeah, definitely. Kana 100%. They're moving forward. They do have the confidence, and there goes the pop on Maito only. Trying to get something done, but there's a space. Sentry's on the right side, not on the left. Finally gets focused down by the Heavy before actually anyone falls down. But unfortunately, Jelly works on to Kaltu, taking him down. There's a lot of bodies on the card pushing currently, and right now, Toucans are just looking to delay it as much as possible. Jelly trying to get something done as well. Gets focused down by Legal, as well as Baito taking down Tosspot. Which means finally we get a cap in 15 minutes and 44 seconds. And, you know, honestly saying this is not a good time in the slightest.
It's a long time, for sure. And Mist is, he doesn't seem too happy with somebody. I don't know whether it's the opposing sniper or the opposing state, but he doesn't seem too happy with somebody. Yeah, 15:44 it's not a good time at all.
No.
And it basically, the thing you were talking about earlier about teams wanting to attack first. Obviously, PremTech won the fist fight. They want to attack first, and as you correctly said, if you attack first and you set a really good time, that puts so much pressure onto the enemy team and beat that time. Conversely, if you attack first and you don't set a good time, like we've seen here, that just it's like having a headache and someone giving you. No. It's like having a headache and someone giving you some pills to take that headache away, and you can just feel like the pain disappearing. Like Toucans now are just relaxed. I can guarantee you their mumble is so chilled. They're so chilled. They're sitting there thinking, we've got a quarter of an hour to push this map, and they're going to know they can do it. But on the other hand, sometimes you can get stuck at different points. They can get stuck at first now. If they don't push this in 4 minutes 23, then they lose. So there still is, like, they can't get too relaxed. And that's sometimes the problem you see. So it's going to be very interesting. But really early bomb in from that's one sticky, that's two sticky. Does force Connor. That delayed jump coming in from Chef actually got the extra little bit of damage needed. So lots of players died there. None died for PremTech, Jake. But Mars has 100% as he's the only person left alive after that suicide wave. But yeah, 100% Uber to play with now.
No, the force was very important there. You know, they did lose quite a lot of players, but that's okay because it is, you know, the first wave of respawns, and they're just currently pushing up the hill there onto the cliff. They do have all the players with them, with the sniper trying to put some pressure on the right side. They're being focused by Granger, but there goes very early pop onto the scout, trying to do something here. Silver Toss, but leading the charge. Now it's being shared to take down the Sentry. Sentry's still alive, very low health though, and wrangled. But a lot of players actually going down here. Maito and Kautu going down. That's no combo for the defenders. Sentry is still up though. Nope, no anymore. Goes down into shreds as the demo man there, Shaggy, focuses it down, and the blue team right now, Toucans are pushing forward. There's still a few players alive for the red team. PremTech trying to get something done, trying to get salvage a little bit more time, but it is not possible, and they're looking at the defense of the second point. They're gonna set up right at the ramp.
Yeah, I mean, Toucans just kind of, they've gone for a big jump in from Shaggy there, actually, and Chef. Like, they're already jumping in on third, trying to get Connor. It was an interesting push there from Toucans, actually. They took so much damage, and they were actually losing that fight for a long time, but because they had the positioning, PremTech didn't want to fight it anymore, and they lost a couple of key players like Maito, and then decided the rest of them just wanted to get out. So Connor's had a huge advantage for a while. It's now equal, Mars is caught up, and PremTech are nowhere to be seen on second. They do not want to keep second or try to contest second at all, which I think is a wise decision. They just want to do what Toucans did earlier on, get a really good hold onto third, and you know, again, if they hold this for what, 950, then you know they win the game. Oh, but pressure coming in. Wow, Tomato just getting so much pressure onto the medic. Doesn't actually force him there. The Uber comes in from Toucans, and that achieves nothing. It just gets a bunch of damage that is just going to be healed up here. Players are going to get cleaned up. Chef gets taken down. Maki might actually take away his life, even though he got really charged there by Ferry. And Connor now has 100% Uber, so PremTech in a decent position, and now it's up to PremTech. It's up to Toucans to try and devise a way to break this hold, Jake.
Yeah, well, Mars is only at 50%. That means they can afford at least one more bomb there. Try to get a soldier in a good position with the engineer, with the demo man, as the engineer kind of slowly pushes the card up. Level sentries in the window means it's gonna make this push a little bit more difficult than Toucans would like it to be. They did lose Jelly over there as on sniping position, putting a lot of pressure there on the enemy combo, which means it is time to get ready to push in. Mars getting his player together, you know, rallying up his team, trying to get them in position, going onto this shack up top here with the health pack and the ammo pack, and they're kind of slowly actually pushing the card forward with the spy. Tomato putting a lot of actually distraction there, and PremTech are popping the conch as well, trying to get ready into the next push. They're feeling it. CeeJaey, they're feeling it. They're gonna go in. Their soldier jumping very far forward. Their chef doing so much distraction. Two people actually going, chasing him now. Now decided to not do that, but that's too late already. They're pushing him with the full force, putting a lot of damage onto the sentry. A lot of spam, but there's a late pop coming out to Kana, and they are trying to get rid of the enemy team players. There's a spy still behind, shooting people down. Shaggy goes down, Jelly as well. Down to Ferry, and Legal cleans up Mars, which means another push from Toucans has been destroyed and dismantled by PremTech on the third point.
You know what? Toucans are having the opposite problem to PremTech. Okay, so it's third point. They're failing a couple of pushes, but what they're doing is they're trying to go in straight through tracks and focus that sentry. They're trying to get as much damage on Detoad and his sentry as possible, but in doing that, there's no damage going down on Connor, and Connor can just sit there happy as Larry, just chilling out. And then once he thinks, okay, enough of my team's died now, let's go in, pops his Uber, and PremTech just clean up. So there needs to be kind of that shared focus. There needs to be some players going for that sentry to make sure it's kept busy, some players going for the medic to get some sort of force out. At the moment, both teams seem to be struggling, but what Toucans are doing very well is they're getting some little bit of cheeky cap time here, Jay. They're just pushing the cart slowly but surely, and that does mean in the chaos of an Uber exchange, they may be able to cap this. Look, Tomato again, they're just trying to push it up. And it's actually going to probably work out really well for them. Look at Tomato. Like, Tomato, Mezzo, they're just taking it in turns. Just push it a little bit further, And that cart is actually rather close now. It's not going to take too long to get onto the point. So,
oh, look at this cheeky engineer.
Yeah,
oh,
he's
Mezzo.
just going forward.
Just keeps going. Like
this is
lemmings.
Good play by Toucans. They're kind of doing this slowly but surely.
Yeah, eventually they'll actually get up to the point. Look at this. Now the spy is actually lemming style forward, but there goes the pop as well from both teams, actually getting completely controlled there by the Pyro. Ferry trying to control the medic right now. Didn't quite manage to do so. Shaggy goes down, actually being finished off by a mist. which means another push has been actually kind of dismantled, but look how close the card is. Like you said, they're inching their way forward, you know, step by step. The card getting closer with the engineer their Metso, just kind of, like I said, just lemming style, going onto the card, dying over and over again, but it gets closer each time he does that. That's so important because look how close it is now. There's no sentry up right now. It has been removed, and a reset right now is being built up. More defensive spot, just making sure that it is protecting the card, but the card still provides a lot of cover for the team as they're slowly moving up forward. They're gonna put some damage. Oh, Heavy goes down. They're countered to a shotgun. The defending team not having a lot of players to work, only 4. With Mato kind of leading the charge there with the medic. Kona 75 HP, still alive, still level 2 sentry, putting some spam out, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop them from capping the 3rd point. So close though, it just needs a sneeze of a soldier is all it takes actually to push it towards 3rd, and Budget Toucans have 9 minutes to push last point.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good plays there by a lot of good people. Grinch Bob there really kind of saved that from being a lot quicker. But then in the same vein, Tomato came in and got a backstab on Tomato, which basically opened up the push for Toucans. So very, very clutch plays coming from a few people there, both sides. But in the end, Toucans do take the advantage. But like you said, you can see the round time, the map time, 8 minutes and 40 seconds left. And this is durable. We've seen some really, really clutch holds from teams on this last defense. But PremTech, they've got their backs to the walls here. They can't do anything else. They can't make any more mistakes. Jelly there getting revenge onto Mist with the headshot. Connor does have 100% Uber. Chef is on him, but Connor does not use. He gets reflect killed there by Ferry. Shaggy is on top as well. They're trying to get so much damage done. Look at that combo. The Uber does come out though. Mars is trapped in. He is weak. He uses the Uber. And Toucans should be able to win this. They're just putting so much damage down onto the combo. Shaggy taking most of that Uber, but Mars goes down actually. Justice is controlling Map Room, and he's just getting free spam down onto that choke. Ferry there with a flare gun, something we don't see very often except from this man. He takes down Chef, and with Mars going down, Connor retains his Uber advantage, and PremTech live to fight at least another minute or so, Jake.
Well, I was a bit chaotic there on the last point, but PremTech managed to kind of like clean up their mistakes. But like you said before, they do not have a lot of mistakes left in their book. You know, a few more mistakes, and Budget Toucans will be able to take this map fairly easily. They might actually working on Justice there, freeing up a lot of space for his team. Yes. Justice was doing a lot of work for his team, and now with him gone, actually Soldiered over there, Chef gonna put some damage onto the spawn, as the rest of the team of Budget Toucans is actually moving onto this upper balcony area, with heals up coming from Mars, only 60%, Kona reaching hundreds, gonna be very crucial the next time. Spy actually working on the sentry, very low health, but managed to actually stab it, but look at this, there goes a drop on Kona! So close there, Tomato works on him, trying to kill the Spy medic, but you don't do that when you have 100% with Mars 90 now. A lot of players, but Scratch that is missed, actually cleans up PremTech's mistake as well, taking down Mars, which means neither of the teams actually has a medic right now. And a lot of players actually down for both teams. Unfortunately, Budget Toucans did get a short end of the stick, but look at how close the card is. It's basically inching forward one more inch, and it's gonna be in, CeeJaey. Wow.
Just to clarify the situation here for everybody, PremTech need to 6-0 this for a chance at playoffs. If Budget Toucans win this round, Budget Toucans have basically, in effect, knocked out PremTech, and they've also guaranteed themselves at least 4th spot. So with a win here, they could overtake 3rd place, but at least getting 2 points will guarantee them the playoffs. So PremTech really need to put all of their focus, all of their energy into the next 6 minutes. Otherwise, they are not going to. They're not going to be participating much longer in the season. And as many people in the chat have pointed out, Jake, this map was played in the pre-season playoffs in season 10. Okay, when Toucans were trying to get back into, trying to get into Prem for the first time, and PremTech were quite confident that they were going to win this game, and they actually lost this map to Budget Toucans back in the pre-season of season 10. So there is history to this fixture. Times have moved on, and 5.5 minutes to go. Mist is going absolutely ham right now. He's on a 9-kill streak, and 100% Ubers from both teams. Chef jumps in. He's taking top left. I'm trying to maybe coordinate something. He's in position. I'm not sure if people know about it. Oh no, Justice knows. Justice knows. He's doing some spam, just trying to stop him from coming in. It looks like Shaggy wants to coordinate something here. Jake, no, Chef gets taken down, so Good coordination there from PremTech just to make sure that doesn't come in. Mist is on a 10k right now.
Wow.
And I don't know, PremTech are kind of pulling this out somehow.
Mist is absolutely saving them right now. He's buying them precious minutes, actually, off the game time.
From Venturepump. He just got a stair stab on Mackie. He kind of jumped over him in tires, just flicked around. He got to the backstab. Little cheeky smiley face in chat there. It just seems like PremTech players have woken up right now. And Toucans, now they're the ones under pressure.
Yeah, definitely. PremTech need to do something about this. I mean, the card has slowly inched back, which is very important for them. They don't need to actually stand around it anymore. It's a very dangerous spot to be standing in, especially if you have Jelly against you. But Mist has been doing a lot of work for his team out, but scratch that as Uber is actually coming in from each side. Looks like a bunch of things. They have decided to take a bit more defensive route with Mackie there, actually being stranded by his team, trying to be a distraction right now, taking a few rockets to his face, but his team actually moving forward to get some more support onto them, trying to stop this card from moving forward, or backwards actually, as the Sentry level 3 is still proving to be very difficult, with Mackie only alive there on the front lines, finally going down to a crossbow from Kona, just kind of a humiliation kill.
Another just executed Tomato. It was brutal. Just walks up to him face to face on cart, headshot with the Ambassador. Not something we see very much in the past coming from Grenjabob, but yeah, I mean, Toucans had really, really good position there, but they lost their medic early on. Ferry is in on Mars. He's trying to get so much damage down, but he does take down the medic. Shaggy gets the kill though, so no pyro. That might open up a little bit of space for some suicides. But huge play there from Ferry. Actually, Toucans are just flooding onto the cart now. It forces the Uber. Mackie's in on the cart. Someone needs to kill him. There's a mini sentry from Mezzo on top. The cart is so close, Jake. There's 3 players left alive for Toucans. And it's actually going to be equal Ubers because nobody was building with Mars when he respawned. But that cart is just dangling over the edge, tantalizingly close.
It is really, really close, and every single time Toucans have done a push, they made sure there's at least one person pushing in among all this chaos, which means PremTech will have to be very careful right now. Standing around the car right now is a heavy call to making sure no one pushing it, but at the same time there's a lot of spam coming onto the car. Both medics the exact same Uber charge rate. The counter actually very low because he was standing there, Spy actually making sure that it's not gonna get pushed backwards. The Mato sacrificing his life for the card, but there goes the push from the lobby.
Mars
oh
down.
No, the medic!
Mars was at 90% or so, and he just gets domed there. Big jump from Chef. He lands one rocket onto Connor, but it's not enough. Mezzo and V-Clocks are trying to get some work done on this sentry. Mezzo just gets launched into the skybox though, and Jelly goes down there to Justice. And the car is literally like, it's hanging over. There's someone needs to sit on it for less than a second, and it is going to go into the pit. So that's why you see Justice and Maito. They're literally standing on the car area because Toucans, they may be coming, kind of butting their heads against the wall at the moment. But what they've been very, very good at so far is just pushing that cart consistently. And during all of these chaos, when their medic goes down, when something else happens, somebody is pushing that cart. And it's like no one has their attention on the cart at all time. Look at Tomato. He's not going for stabs. He's not going for keys or anything like that. He's just trying to get some cap time on that car. And you can see now Jakeowaty just sitting on it, getting taken for a little bit of a ride there, just trying to push it back a little bit further. So, you know, there's not so much pressure. And Mist goes down. Mist has been going huge. And Tomato deciding to stop cart duty and go for the backstab. The Uber is forced from Connor. Mars is at 90%. This could be the end here, actually, if Toucans win this this Uber fight. Maito goes down, V-Clocks is in, getting so much pressure onto the combo. Mackie takes most of the Uber. He's getting so much damage down. There's only a few players left alive now for PremTech. Toucans are all over this point. 4 players left alive now for PremTech. They need to get on that car, and it does actually go into the pit. Toucans take the first round. Maybe not as convincingly as we first thought, Jake.
Oh, yeah, well, what happened in that 9-minute lead they had was PremTech just kind of found themselves just like fresh blood from somewhere. I don't know, they just vampired it from someone, from something. And they managed to hold them for about 8 minutes by themselves, with Mist leading the team, basically, with those amazing sniper plays. And in the end, it didn't quite matter, as Budget Toucans have taken over PremTech on the first, at least, round here on appeal upwards. So 1-0 to Budget Toucans, which means PremTech are officially out of the stage of playoffs for ETF2L, which means they will not be able to take on the first spot against other teams like SDK, Budget Toucans actually, as Budget Toucans actually moving up to playoffs. So, well, that's kind of like, the game is not over yet. It's still, one more round at least going here, but it means that PremTech will probably not play as seriously anymore, and that's kind of a shame.
Part of me was hoping that PremTech would take the first round to at least make it interesting, but I feel all of that is possibly taking the sting out of the tail from PremTech now. This moves Toucans onto 16 points, which means the best PremTech can do is, win the next 2 rounds. That would only put them on 15, so they would still be a point short. Also, other teams, the Super Dickmans Juniors, they're on 10. They don't play until Sunday. They play against Chess on Sunday, and they had a chance to get into the playoffs. But with Toucans winning the points, they have a better head-to-head against Juniors. So it also knocks out Juniors from reaching the playoffs. So as of now, we have the confirmed teams, top 4. It's going to be Strong Opinions, Chess Club, Super Dickmans, and Budget Toucans. And at the moment now, it's about who finishes where. There's still, Toucans, like I said, they're on 16 points now. Super Dickmans are on 17. So if Toucans win, the next points, they win the next round and they 6-0 it, they'll move on to 20 points. And that'll put them in 3rd place above Super Dickmans. And Super Dickmans have one more match to play against Strong Opinions on Sunday. So it's still those 2nd to 3rd to 4th. That's still to be decided between those 3 teams. Chess Club, the lowest they can finish is 3rd. Whereas Super Dickmans can finish possibly between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So Toucans will be wanting to put themselves in as good a position as possible. We'll just see if PremTech has still got any fight left in with them. It's the last map of the season. Surely they'll want to go out on at least getting some points in the bag.
I mean, like you said, it's kind of like a grudge match again. They did play before in preseason, and they did lose to Budget Toucans, and now kind of like have a revision of the history, which, it kind of stings, No matter how you look at it, it kind of stings. So they'll definitely have something to prove themselves. Again, in this matchup, they still can kind of take away those 3 points, very precious points for Budget Toucans anyway. They did kind of secure themselves a spot in playoffs, but, it doesn't mean that they got the best spot in playoffs yet. Another 3 points could definitely boost their position on the table, which is quite important. But at the same time, PremTech, they're not going to let this go. I do believe we do have one more round at least of the top Highlander action that we're so used to watch.
Yeah, I still think it would be good. I think these are players that they play the game for a reason, and they're going to want to at least get some frags for the logs. Try and do themselves a little bit of justice. Excuse the pun, but no, it should be an interesting game. I did look at this game and think this was going to be insanely close, and that first round kind of threw me off a little bit. I thought, wow, okay, Toucans seem to be really controlling this match. They seem to be dominating. But then PremTech just, I don't know, they pulled something out from somewhere. I don't know where they were hiding it during that first half, but they definitely stepped it up. And interesting strats here from D-Toad. He's got a sentry right forward on the cliff. He's literally wrangling into spawn. The crits comes out from Maito to take down Jelly and Mackie. And I'm going to risk it and say this isn't going to be the most serious half of TF2 we've ever seen. Maybe PremTech had just decided to try out some strats for Season 12. They're thinking, crits on defense on payload. It's not been done since, Season 1 or so. It could be useful.
That's fine. I love crits myself. I'm a medic man, wants to be. I do love crits on pretty much every single occasion. It's such a risk weapon, but it's a high risk, high reward weapon. And look at this, Kana is nearing 80% already. There's an Uber push with the sentry going down actually, and the medic on very low health. They're Kana on 20 HP trying to run around, get the health back. They did quite manage to get a few plays out, but no way. Tomato works on that one, as Budget Toucans did lose quite a few plays in the engagement, but they did take out the nest, which is the most important part of this first point, and they're slowly getting his their point up. The first point on the scoreboard in the second round of this, as they're actually kind of trying to move into more aggressive position. They still got the forward spawns, which is very important to set up on the second point. They're going to go old school, ladies and gentlemen, and set up on the rooftop.
Vclox gets a nice little surprise there as Dito's sentry is on the floor, but Shaggy takes down Dito himself, so that sentry should get spammed up fairly easily now. But Connor and Maito are holding on roof. There's a bit of Pyro v Pyro action going on there. Vclox wins it this time. But Legal and Maito kind of combining there just to take down a couple of key players. Maki goes down as well. Legal getting his pistol out and doing a little bit of work, and now he's going to be on the medic. He lands one meat on shot to Mars, but he gets body shot by Jelly there. And I don't know if the second point is being held here, Jake. And I don't know, maybe PremTech.
Maybe
they should have tried this. They should have tried this first time. Just they got crits on roof. Who holds roof anymore? I mean, this is interesting. So yeah,
it's kind of funny there. It's kind of funny because I still played when the rooftop hold was a thing, and everyone was just like, yeah, rooftop was hold. Well, hold on. As the Uber goes in, actually from the defensive team, they're trying to pop the crit streak, but it's not gonna work out too much. Oh, the medic is so low. Kona goes down finally to Chef. Maito managed to get Chef down with a nice pipe to the face, but that's definitely not enough as Toucans have taken over the second point, and finishing on my thought there. Yeah, I was still playing around when rooftop strategy was the standard strategy. Holding onto this ramp was definitely frowned upon. And now, coming after a year of being abroad, come back and see cast the game, and you see everyone's holding on the ramp like it's the most natural thing ever, and everyone's just abandoning rooftop. I was like, wait, what the hell is going on? Who has decided this is a better idea? But now, Maito and his friends tried to make it happen again. PremTech going old school style, and didn't quite work out for them as they're looking at defense at the third point. They still do not have a sentry up and running there in the window, and it's such a problem.
He's still running crit. He's at 60%, Mars is at 70. So if PremTech build this fast, they're going to get it just before Toucans. And if they get it, actually no, they haven't been building it very fast. Never mind. They could have caught up there. And they could have got it first, and they could have done some aggressive plays, but it's not going to quite work out. It's going to be equal, and that's the thing. Once you know the enemy team is running crits, you just kind of run into them, kill them, which is what Shaggy's doing right now. He takes down Cal 2 with help from Vclox. And the crits does come out here onto Maito, and it's just going to get reflected here by Vclox. Nothing gets done but a ferry there. Crits Pyro takes down a couple of players, but 4 players left alive now for PremTech. And Toucans is just going to walk forward.
Yeah, they're just going to do what they did the whole round, which is press W. They're going forward, pushing the car while at it. Mars actually getting his Ubers very, very quickly thanks to spam from PremTech. They're kind of throwing out spam. They don't really follow up the kills, and that just helps the medic build the Uber, Kana going down as well in that last team fight there. I'm going to just quickly check if he is still running the crit scare, and yes, he does. He's still trying to get some, play of the games, basically, and some more Overwatch references there.
Legal and Maito are getting frags. They're walking forward. It's 3 players left alive now for Toucans. Connor does go down to Shaggy in the end, but they just kind of walked forward and they're just DMing at the moment, and funnily enough, it's working out for them. So, I mean, this is still going to be a fast time if Toucans push it within the next minute or so, but I don't know, PremTech, even though they're clearly not taking this 100% seriously anymore, they're not doing a bad show for themselves.
No, definitely. I mean, they like we said before, they do have a lot of experience under the belt, and just on pure DM level, I do believe they're stronger than Toucans. However, the Toucans have been playing together for a long time now, and they are, having something to fight for right now. Even though they did secure themselves a place in playoffs, they still want a bit more points to get the better place, maybe. As actually Chef is going there into window with his friend or Vclox, but Vclox getting absolutely destroyed there by Maito. A few love sticks is enough to take a Pyre down. As they're trying to get a better position going. Kana's actually on the quite low health here. Oh, getting out, but the Uber has been popped. The sentry has been focused down by Maito, moving forward, trying to look for more kills. The Pyre actually protecting himself onto this dispenser, with the medic actually safe and south onto the staircase. Kana has 100% crit streak. Finally, there's no Uber on the other side.
I think we're going to see crits Natasha.
There is no Uber on the other side.
I think we're going to see crits Natasha from
No way! Oh, is the medic going to grab? No, he's not. They're trying to get the Demoman. Demoman goes down, being chased by the scout as well, but it is not enough as only one person goes down to crit streak. Oh,
Hi, I'm a heavy and I can shoot laser beams that slow you down. Wow. Actually works. Mars gets out, so he's going to have a little bit of an Uber advantage, but it's Connor actually might almost get caught out there. It was down to about 25 HP. But it's getting a bit. This should just be Toucans walking in with their Uber advantage, knowing that the best that PremTech can do is just kind of crits onto them, which isn't going to work. Big jump in from Justice does take down CeeJaey, but a missed down as well. So no sniper now for the defending team. But yeah, I mean, are we going to see another crit from Tasha?
I do believe.
Oh
no!
That's a
and
drop.
that's kind of like a salt in the wound right now. It's just, quite literally a salt in the wound as kind of goes down, and no Uber or no Kritzker on the defensive team. Mars decided to kind of save his. No need to pop it even on the sentry. Sentry's being wrangled. There he goes, finally making sure that no one is gonna drop down, flashing heavily to get it drained faster. There's only a heavy in the staircase, but he has no support from his team. The sentry is being built up, only mini sentry. But looks like Budget Toucans are just gonna walk in like the entire round. They have been doing that. W+1. There's still a few players of PremTech trying to slow it down. Medic on very low health. Getting focused there by Fairy with the Flurry gun. 3 people up, and one more time PremTech managed to slow down Budget Toucans.
The thing is, Toucans got so many frags, but the 2 frags he didn't get was Ferry and Legal, and they were just running around and DMing. Ferry just hitting players with the flare, air blasting them. Hitting people with the flamethrower, air blasting them, then hitting them with a crit flare. He's on a 3k right now. He also assisted in another couple. Legal just running around and meat shotting people. So the 2 players that did the most work, they were left alive and they were just DMing on that point. So, this is still still some work here for Toucans to do, but Chef is starting out getting a med pick onto Connor. He's down for another 15 seconds, as is Cal2. So that's a lot of HP out of the way, and no healing. Maito goes down onto a backstab from Tomato. So surely now Toucans should be able to use the zero advantage. The car is quite close. Mini sentry's being run by D-Toad. Just no time to get up those level 3s anymore. So that's just going to be rather an annoyance than anything else.
Yeah, they're just moving forward right now with the Pyro there, trying to get some cap points as well, just making sure that it's getting capped. The Kana trying to get some Uber saws, but it's not enough. It's being focused by V-Clocks as cards slowly being pushed in, and there it goes, ladies and gentlemen. 8 minutes and 29 seconds actually is not the most brilliant time, but we've been used to longer Badwater times for sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's consider for a moment. Let's consider for a moment that PremTech had their sentry on Cliff, and they've been running perma crits on defense, and then 8:29 doesn't actually look like that bad of a holding time.
Yeah.
All they need to do is get some kind of drops here and there, and they could actually push this time. But to be fair, it took them 15 minutes, 44 seconds last time around. So they need to definitely step up their game from earlier. But maybe that's what they needed all along, was just kind of the pressure removed. There's no chance for them to get players. For those of you just joining us, the first round did go to Budget Toucans, and because of that, Budget Toucans have guaranteed themselves a playoff spot for January, and that also meant that PremTech could not mathematically get into the knockout round. So both teams kind of, PremTech, they've got nothing to lose, they've got nothing to gain. They'll finish in the same spot regardless. Whereas Budget Toucans could still, if they win the next round, those extra few points could become quite useful when deciding which seeding they're going to get come the playoff round. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's what PremTech needed, was the fact that they've got nothing to lose now. They can just, there's no pressure, they can just chill out and just play the game. And it seems to be working out well for them. As we look at Connor, and Connor is still running the crits. Doesn't matter though, Jake, because he walks into the bush and gets blown up by Shaggy. So we're not going to see any crits just yet.
No, not anytime soon. And now they know that he's running crits, and Mars is just like 100% sure, there's gonna be a few waves of respawns just jumping on his head. That's fine. He has a whole team just body blocking and meat shielding him. There's a few pipes going in on the dispenser, but the engineer's just gonna shoot it down. It's okay. Everyone's just so relaxed on it. You can just feel how relaxed Budget Toucans are right now. They're so confident and so comfortable in that spot. And PT, PremTech, just know that there's not much they can do at this point. They can kind of try. They do have 60% crit streak getting ready to fire very soon. Actually, they're moving their positions up. They actually managed. I didn't decide to go for some jobs. There's only Justice going in, but Jelly just goes for an air shot there. Some vanity points scored. There's Uber popped by Mars actually very early. They were expecting the crits to go in. It looks like Kana has gotten the best of them. Oh no, the only Chef going down to that. But that's the only actually victim of that crit streak is a Chef, and that's a soldier flank class. It's not enough. The sentry is still up, the combo is still up, and everyone is fairly healthy. So, you know, a lot of players going down for PremTech here, and it's not looking too bright for them.
It's not. They got just under 3 minutes now to capture this first point. I mean, that jump in from Justice where he got headshot in midair, he only managed to get one rocket onto Mars, and Mars used his Uber. So that could really have opened up if Maito had, you know, critzed into that area, landed one sticky. He would have done so much damage, but it didn't work out for him. Just taking a quick look at Kaltu on this cliff here, just trying to sneak up, get spotted by Shaggy, so he's not going to get any presence for the time being. Headshot from Demato there does manage to take down Mato. But yeah, Connor's still running that crit streak. He's at 75%. Mars nearly at full Uber already. And at this point, you know, they're going to just need to get a Force or a Miracle Sticky into that kind of combo area in order to get anything done here, because it's quite difficult to push with the crits when the enemy team's got Uber, because they can just make themselves invincible and screw you over.
They're gonna go in with the Cruiser. In good position, there goes the pop, but no, the medic loses the Devil Man, and Chef just sees that, goes in straight in. You know, not minding his own life, the medic actually pops here. Mars just to be sure, no crit stick is going. Oh, one rocket, two rockets by Justice. Almost killing Mars. He was on solo health, about 15 HP. But he did manage to get away with it. Another push has been completely dismantled here by Budget Toucans, and PremTech are running out of options just as they're running out of time.
Yeah, it's, what, 1 minute and 25 seconds left to go. Obviously, they've still got 5 minutes 20 to push the entire map, but they still need to capture the first point next 1 minute or so, because that is the round timer. And Justice, you know, they're still trying. They're still trying to get something done here. Justice was trying to spam that sentry, but when it's the black box, you've only got 3 rockets, and you know, all it takes is a Wrangle or a Rescue Ranger, and it's pretty much nullified any work you've done. Mars just gets his Uber just at the same time as Connor gets his quick fix. So I expect we're going to see Connor leaping into action here with either Justice or Mato. So that'll be interesting to see. Kaltu gets headshot, and actually the Force comes out onto Mars. I missed who did that. So no Uber now for look at Connor. Just, he's in. They're in. They've used the quick fix. Jelly goes down, and Connor goes down to the sentry.
You know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword of quick fix against a sentry because of no knockback. Sometimes you just kind of rely on the knockback from the sentry to get you in a safe spot, but quick fix grants you no knockback, so if you just keep walking in, you're bound to be dead. You know, no amount of boosted heals is gonna save you this time, as PremTech only having 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go on this map. They think quite actually 9 seconds, because the round is gonna finish much sooner, as PremTech just keep losing players to Budget Toucans, keep taking one by one, going in one by one. Still, there's an overtime onto the cart, trying to get some more time, but looks like this is it, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0, 6 points go to Budget Toucans on PL Upward, which means they're going to advance to playoffs very comfortably out of this game here. PremTech unfortunately have to walk away, and that is going to be it for them in Season 11.
Yeah, we have to wave goodbye to PremTech. They had a good season. They had a good season. At the start, you know, I remember in the early show, the preseason show, we were talking about where people thought teams would finish, and PremTech came up, and I said, look, I think PremTech, they've got a decent roster. I think they're going to make a go of it. You know, there's always this pretense, oh, we're only going to play officials. You know, we're not going to scrim, but they always end up scrimming. They did this season, and they have a quality roster with some really good players there. And you know, despite the slow start, the fact that they had to play against, you know, arguably the stronger teams in the division, meant that, you know, things maybe didn't start off as well. You know, look at the preseason cup, and they ended up getting to the upper bracket final. I think overall they finished 3rd behind Strong Opinions and SCCK. So they beat Super Dickmans on the way. They beat Chess Club on the way. They have the potential there, and it's just, I think these results, you know, this was the deciding result, and it just seems Toucans have edged it here ever so slightly. If we ignore that last kind of troll round, that first round was extremely close. But like you said, comfortable for Toucans with that 6 points. That's going to put them up to 20 points. So they're only 1 point behind Chess Club. They've obviously played more games than anyone else. But for now, they are into third place, and Super Dickmans have to play against Strong Opinions in the final week. So unless Super Dickmans get at least a 4-2 victory over Strong Opinions, then Super Dickmans will be ended up finishing fourth, heading into the playoffs. So Toucans have given themselves a decent chance at getting a higher seed.
Yeah, definitely. They have a lot of options here, and just, it's up to them how to decide to use them. I'm just taking a quick look at the logs from the first round, because I'm not really counting the second round. Kind of okay, yeah. I don't know. PremTech just having fun. That's fine with us. It still was a good game. Budget Toucans just kind of played out to the end and, show who's the boss, which is always nice to see. None of the teams actually wanted, just still treating it seriously. Because Premiership is serious business, TF2. But anyway, I'm looking at the logs right now, and despite Budget Toucans winning quite comfortably, the top of the list leads with Mist, Legal, and Grenjabob, respectively, on 33, 31, and 28 kills. The next one is Jelly on 28 as well. So, PremTech definitely winning DM battles here, getting more kills, but in the end, Budget Toucans were the ones who focused the point, and that's what TF2 is about. Not actually getting the kills in the DM, just getting stuff done. And that's what they did, pushed their way forward, and they managed to win the first game, which led to the ultimate victory.
Yeah, I mean, more kills, 3k more damage. It seems, it reads like a PremTech victory when you just look at the logs. Some, like we said, some huge plays coming out of Mist there on the last point. Went on a 10 kill streak at some point. I'm not sure if he got any more. And Grenjabob getting some crucial picks at various times just to slow down the Toucans push. But, it basically ended after that first round with nothing to play for. I think both teams really, PremTech not taking it too seriously in that second round. But, it was extremely, extremely close in that first round. And, I think PremTech will be disappointed. It's not going to be the end of the world, but you know what? If they keep this team together, season 12 is not too far away. I think it'll be, May sometime, or no, actually that'll probably be the final. Probably be around March time, I guess, or something like that when season 12 will start. So there isn't that much gap between seasons this time around. If PremTech was to stick together with this roster and they were to, scrim once the season started, again, I would say the same as I said at the start of this season. They have a chance. They have a chance of going for playoffs. They have some. It's
just up to them. Yeah, it's just up to them whether they decide to stick with the roster they have already or just kind of work with something else. Maito just been working through a lot of rosters so far, so definitely has a lot of experience. But I do believe that will be it for us for tonight for last game of Week 7 of Highlander Season 11. Right, CeeJaey? Is that it? We don't have any surprises coming into our mumble, right?
No one seems to be joining. No,
thankfully. So... no, it's okay though. So yeah, that was it. That was a game between Budget Toucans and PremTech. PremTech ultimately losing out to Budget Toucans. My name is Jake. Today with me was none other than CeeJaey himself, and on camera as always, John. Thank you very much for watching, and do stay tuned because the meat actually of Highlander Season 11 is about to come up with playoffs starting and 4 best teams in Europe are gonna get over who's gonna be the best.